What's up, everyone? I'm Ashley Smashley. In this video, we're going to talk about being on the divine path to unlock your infinite potential. If you're new here, you're going to want to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications because we are just getting started over here and your girl is going to blow up. You're going to want to be here to watch it all go down. On this channel, we talk about all things spiritual awakening, the light and the dark, so that we can become aware and integrate because that is necessary to become the version of us that can live out our infinite potential. Now, what on earth does that even mean? The divine path to unlock your infinite potential. All right, there are two different ways to create your reality as a human. There is human creation when you have an egoic desire and you attach to that outcome, and then you want this thing, you have to make this thing happen. So you set goals and you work hard and you take a bunch of actions and efforts to make something that you want a reality. All right, that's egoic human creation. Now, divine creation, when you get on your divine path to unlock your infinite potential, you allow yourself to be guided one divine step at a time by following your intuition. You still have egoic desires come up. Like, there are still things that I want, but I don't try to make them happen anymore because I know that what's coming when I unlock my infinite potential is so much greater than any egoic desire that I could possibly think of. We all have infinite potential encoded into our DNA. Our DNA is quantum, all right? It's not just physical. So, in this process of being on the divine path to unlock your infinite potential, you follow your intuition and you are guided to different places and different people in different circumstances that trigger certain repressed energies in your field. Whether that be a limiting belief or a repressed emotion, these energies get stuck in our field and in our physical body. And that's always being reflected back to us in our life. You just have to be aware. You have to be self-aware and you'll notice what's coming up. It's right there. It's the world is a mirror reflecting back to you your beliefs and your repressed emotions. They will keep getting triggered until you process and release the energy out of your field. And that's what's happening when you get on your divine path to unlock your infinite potential. You decide, look, I don't want my egoic desires. I might want them, like my ego, obviously my human still wants them, but I surrender my will and my egoic will to fulfill my egoic desires because I want to unlock my infinite potential. This is something beyond anything your human mind can think of, anything your little human can create in this world. Okay, this is serious. What's going to be coming with humanity for the people that are doing this, that activate their DNA and unlock their infinite potential? We're going to know who these people are. They're going to become superhumans. All right? Just wait and see. If you don't believe me, subscribe. You can watch what happens. All right, so anyway, yes, you surrender your will to the divine will. This is the soul plan, baby. All right? And you go one divine step at a time and you meet the different people who teach you the different lessons. You play out the karma, whatever it is that's going on. There's a lot going on in this little 3D game that we are playing here. We have to release our karma. We have to resolve our karma. And certain people come into your life to play that out. Usually, your closest spirit buddies come and be your absolute enemy. And you have a soul contract with these people, these other spirits. They come, they manifest in your life and like, hey, yeah, I'll come teach you that lesson. I'll come steal from you because you got to get karma from the other lifetime when you did something bad with money, dishonest. That's how it works, right? We're all just manifesting into each other's lives to help each other play out karma and to ultimately lead people into awakening when they surrender and they decide that they want to activate their DNA and unlock their infinite potential rather than fulfill egoic desires. Where are you at on your journey? Are you one of them hustling grinders, goal crushes? Always got to have what you want. As soon as you want it, you got to make it happen. Got to make that your reality. Or even this is the spiritual way of doing it, the false, light spiritual, false spirituality way of doing it by manifesting it with the law of attraction and thinking better thoughts. It's all false light, okay? You got to go through the shadow and through the darkness to unlock your infinite potential. Otherwise, you're just covering it all up. All the low frequency energy that's in your field, it has to be processed and released. And the only way to process and release it is to feel it, completely feel it. All right. This is a very difficult process. I'm not going to lie. I've been going through it for years. 2020 is when the first time I had energy bubble up and come out of my chest. And it pried my mouth open and came out like, whoa. I felt it all the way up and out. And it was the beginning of the opening of my heart chakra. And I declared that I'm in this, right? I'm in this for the journey. Wherever I have to go, whatever I have to face, whatever I have to do to get on this divine path and unlock my infinite potential, I will do it. Okay? I don't care. I know sometimes I feel weak. Sometimes I feel like I can't do this anymore because it is difficult. It doesn't make sense a lot of times. People look at your life and they're like, what? I've had a coworker say to me a few times, like, oh, I've been thinking about you. I want to help you in your situation, help you find a roommate or something. Like, I don't want a roommate. I live by myself. I don't want to lease. I don't want to be tied down anywhere. I can't be tied down because I have to be able to follow my intuition in case I got to go. Whenever my mind, or, not my mind, whenever the intuition strikes, I go. And that's why I've been all over the country in the last few years. 2019, 18 is when I started traveling. Been going all over the place. And guess what? I've met all kinds of different people, had all kinds of different things happen, all kinds of different lessons and karmas, and all these different things play out. And even though some of it was downright awful, I got drugged in Las Vegas. I was scared to death for my life. And when I told people the story of what happened to me in detail, they said, how did you even make it out of that alive? Like, because it was all part of the plan to teach me a lesson in discernment, because I trusted somebody who was supposed to be my friend. And they were not my friend. And I should have known better, okay? Because I've had a lot of friends in the past who they weren't real friends. Anyway, it led me to a place where now I'm a little overcautious with the people I allow in my life. I'm pretty much a loner. By myself all the time. I don't really communicate with anybody besides certain family members, some friends every once in a while. But either way, this is the path. I want my soul plan, okay? I want to unlock my infinite potential. This is the life. And as you release the energy from your field, what happens? You go from one divine step at a time. You follow your intuition. When you get there, you're provided for. All right? You don't got to worry about, oh no, what's going to happen? Where am I going to live? How am I going to make money? Blah, blah. It's all there. It all appears. You take action and it appears. Okay? All of your real needs will be met. Maybe not the way you want them to be met or the way, like the best, most ideal way, but your needs will be met. You will have what you need to get through whatever it is you got to get through until you learn that lesson, and then you'll be on to the next phase. I think of them as levels in a video game. Like when I was in Las Vegas studio level, the boss man was the guy who drugged me. He delivered me the lesson. Then I went to LA. And I've told this story a million times. Well, not a million times, but I've told this story several times on my channel. It's one thing after another just manifested effortlessly into my life. And all of my needs were met and everything was provided for. And then I had a beautiful relationship with a man out there that I met in LA. We moved to Arizona together. And through that is when I really had huge energetic releases when I was dealing with him and learning to love this man unconditionally and knowing when it was time to go. And I had $0, not one penny to my name when I decided I was going to leave this man. And I packed up my car the night before. I was going to leave in the morning. The next day, I had almost $1,400 come to me within a few hours from 3 different sources because the money was provided for me because I made the choice. I'm leaving. Don't care if I don't even have one penny. $1,400. That's what happens when you follow your intuition, when you take action and trust, okay? Eventually, I'll have the whole story laid out for you on how I got where I was going and how things happened. I'm still like working through some things. Like right now, um, at my job that I'm at right now, this is another reason why you got to just surrender and go on the divine path to unlock your infinite potential instead of taking egoic action to make your desires a reality. Like you see so many people try to create a business and they think, oh, I'm spiritual now. I don't need to be in the matrix. I got to create a spiritual business. I'll take egoic action and make that happen. And then guess what? You don't get the beautiful lessons that help you evolve into the version of you that can live out your infinite potential. And anything less than your infinite potential is settling in your life. I don't care how great of a business you create for yourself. If it's not your infinite potential, you're settling. So now at my current job as a server, I'm working through being a people pleaser, hypervigilance, emotional monitoring, and all these different things. When I go to work, I have all these things coming up, dysregulating my nervous system. This happened last year too, but now it's like I'm really clearing out all these old patterns and all these old frequencies and all these old things from my childhood, all these traumas from when I was a kid, that I've been carrying around in my nervous system. It's coming out because I work in the matrix. If I had financial stability and did not need a job through some means that I created egoically, my fake, inauthentic spiritual business that 99% of the spiritual community has, I would not be getting these lessons that are helping me evolve into the person that can live out my infinite potential. All right. So when you're on your divine path to unlock your infinite potential, be prepared to be misunderstood. Be prepared to be uncomfortable. Okay? Hang on. Find a couple things that you have in your life that absolutely do it for you. That's all you need. Like my cat. I cuddle my cat and I know everything's going to be all right. I go to the beach and I know everything's going to be all right. I go into a forest, lay down and put my bare feet on a tree, and I know everything's going to be all right. I don't have to feel comfortable and secure and have all of my egoic desires met for that to happen. One of my missions on earth is going to be to convince more people to surrender their will, their egoic will, to the divine path so that they can unlock their infinite potential. And more people can clear out their energetic fields instead of spiritually bypassing everything, stuffing down all of their emotions with whatever distraction tool you prefer. Whether that be sex, drugs, TV, video games, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, cleaning, going to the gym, setting and accomplishing goals. Literally everything is a tool to avoid feeling emotions. Can you sit in silence for hours and see what comes up? Try it sometime. I dare ya. The dog dare ya. Get on your divine path to unlock your infinite potential. It is so worth it. One thing that I think got me started on this was the 3rd step prayer in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's been about 10 years since I first got sober. That's a whole different, my recovery journey is a whole different story. But back in the day, I would always say this prayer: God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help with thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. Your intuition, the divine will, the divine path, God's will, whatever you want to call it, is different than your egoic desires. You must learn how to differentiate between the two. You will, after practice and practice, and you will still be trying to fulfill egoic desires once you surrender to the divine path. There'll still be egoic desires that come up, and you'll still try to think you'll still try to work that in until you fully surrender. All right. Surrender to your divine path to unlock your infinite potential. And if you want to see what goes down in my life, hit that subscribe button, because I promise you, it's coming and it's going to be insane. I'll see you in my next video.